Hi, this is Joe at BlueCrowTrading.com. I want to spend a few minutes with you discussing the BlueCrow Trading Framework and the 13 elements of trading success that are posted in this article over here. And I want to provide examples that relate to each of these phases that I discuss: a preparation phase, one example that I'll relay there, the setup and trade phase, the second example, and the third example relates to the release phase. I'm providing you these examples with the idea of sharing how the BlueCrow Trading Framework can assist retail traders in identifying where there are gaps in their process, where there are areas for improvement, and where there's also a misalignment between the phase that they're in the trading process and the elements that are underlying each of these phases. So the first example relates to the preparation. In my work with retail traders, I have found that they spend a significant amount of time researching different setups. This could include doing casual or even purposive searches on the internet, looking for different trading setups and recommendations from other retail traders. This could include being on trading forums, for example, and reading a significant amount of material to familiarize themselves with different trading methods and techniques. And given the proliferation of information and the extent of information that is out there, it does, in a group of traders, result in a significant amount of confusion and also lack of focus. And so they are unable to progress successfully onto the next phase. This lack of focus and confusion is not entirely their fault, and they're also not to blame. I mentioned in the article that I posted online that there are thousands upon thousands of information merchants that are out there, and they're peddling dubious trading systems. Which is not really helping the retail trader, because 95% of what is provided by those information merchants is useless and cannot be readily successfully applied by retail traders or even institutional traders, if at all, if they're using those type of techniques at all. And it doesn't have to be that way. So the elements 2, 10, and 11 mentioned here to the left of the preparation phase are the three elements that underline the preparation phase, and one would need to ensure in a coaching process to ensure that there's an alignment between these three elements and the preparation phase in order to overcome that challenge, if it is a challenge for the retail trader. Another blockage area, or another area that generally requires some work, is the setup and the trade under the actions and the associated thoughts with that, which is trust and discipline. I have found that in my work with retail traders is that they will spend a considerable amount of time researching and testing the setup, but when it comes to initiating trades, the trade that they've initiated will look nothing like the setup that they've taken, and this could be for various reasons, but usually this observation comes at the end of the day when they're doing their post-market assessment and they're comparing their trades, actual trades taken, to the trades that are the trading rules that they have in their trading plan, and the two are not comparable. They are completely different, and usually the response that I get from retail traders is that somehow something takes over when they are confronted with a hard right edge of the screen, and they are simply unable to follow the trading rules that they've developed. And this is in part related to elements 3, 4, and 6 that are not aligned to the actions that they are taking. But also importantly is the underpinning thoughts that a retail trader has at each of these steps. Usually the problem here relates to trust, self-trust, trust of the trading rules that they have, because when they're confronted with a highly stressful situation, everything that they've researched, everything that they've identified, everything that they've back-tested is just thrown out the window, and they resort to something else, and it's just something else that needs to be understood, and there also needs to be identified and overcome as a potential barrier. The process in the BlueCrow Trading Framework is to identify where those areas for improvement are, and coming back to these elements 3, 4, and 6 is to reinforce positive actions and positive thoughts in this step over here of the trading process, aligning it to 3, 4, and 6, these elements, in order to improve the trading outcome. The third example is the release phase, and here some of the retail traders are having some difficulty with the reinforcement of actions and thoughts. And what I mean by that is, when they have a winning trade, the winning trade results in thoughts of elation, success, that you've nailed this particular setup, and you're going to repeat it continuously until you become a millionaire. Well, that feeling of elation and positive thought inevitably has an impact on your ability to cleanly and independently assess the validity of the next trading setup. So you'll have these positive thoughts flowing into the setup. It distorts one's thoughts, and it distorts one's opinions of the trading opportunity. It leads to a trade which then results either in a positive outcome, and the positive outcome may be because you've correctly identified the setup, and if you have, kudos to you. But if it is not, then it is just pure luck that has taken place there. If it results in a loss, your loss from that single trading event then flows into your ability to independently assess the next trading setup. And if you are not approaching it on a clean slate and independent of the previous trading event, then you wouldn't be able to see those trade setups as clearly as you should. And it's this process of the setup, the trade, this release phase over here, and then moving one having to release before you move on to the next trade setup, that is crucially important. And many retail traders are unable to break cleanly from the previous trade before they move on to the next one. Inevitably, they are impacted by what has happened in the past. And elements 5, 8, and 9 are there to address this release phase over here, in order to improve the ability of the trader to take one trade at a time. And as I discuss here in the article, that one trade at a time is element number 1, and it's the most important element, because all of these elements over here that relate to preparation, actions, thoughts, and release must be replicated perfectly every time one takes a trade, and it has to be done irrespective of how you're feeling on that day and the thoughts that you're having, but it has to be replicated one trade at a time, going through each of these steps. And that is the way that retail traders will be able to result in positive trade outcome. And that positive trade outcome is being able to achieve a sustainable income from trading endeavors. So my goal and the purpose of sharing this BlueCrow Trading Framework and the 13 elements of trading success is a framework that I've developed, that I'm currently using personally, and that I'm sharing with you through coaching that I provide to motivated retail traders. And my objective is to give you the skills to apply this framework over here in your trading, irrespective of the trading strategy that you have, because this complements the trading strategy that you may be working with right now. What it also helps you to do is to pinpoint areas for improvement. If you find that you have a problem with the preparation phase, then elements 2, 10, and 11 need to be worked on. If you find that you have a problem with trust and discipline, then elements 7, 12, and 13 is what you need to work on. If you find that area for improvement relates to the release phase, then we need to work on elements 5, 8, and 9. What this also does is highlight distortions in each phase. You should be spending a uniform amount of time between each of these phases, and not overloading your time too much in a particular area. And there needs to be that uniformity throughout. And it also identifies where there's misalignment in the elements with each of the phases. So that's the BlueCrow Trading Framework and the 13 elements of trading success. Contact me if you need some assistance, and if you're interested in learning more about the BlueCrow Trading Framework, and if you're interested in the coaching that I provide. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye.